Let's roll. Let's rock and roll. Now live. All right. Let's see. Let's see. It's not live for me yet, so I can. I see. All right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing our presentation. Looks like we are live. Well, welcome everybody. Okay. I think we are live. Let's the party begin. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Dmitriy Starson. I'm the CEO, founder of Passio, and we've got a real treat for you today. We'll be talking about our next generation technology, Nutrition-AI, third generation. We've been building this technology for many, many years, and with every release, with every iteration, things are getting more and more exciting. With me, I've got our CTO, Dr. James Kelly, and our lead AI engineer, Ishani, who will be describing different aspects of what we've built and answering your questions. And more broadly, we will talk a little bit about the future of AI-powered apps, which is what we are building here at Passio. When we develop, when we build and bring tools to companies that we power and to developers that use our SDKs, APIs, and modules, our focus is on building tools that make it extremely easy for the developer community and for companies to build AI-powered application. So specifically, our core focus has been on building Nutrition-AI platform, which allows developers and companies to very rapidly and efficiently develop and build AI-powered nutrition and fitness apps. So I will show a quick preview of what's possible and explain why this is important and why this is novel and why we believe this is the future of mobile applications. So right now, we live in the world where there is a massive transition from applications that are basically static in many ways and unintelligent to applications that are fully alive and imbued with AI, either through chatbots or through computer vision or all of the above. And well, at Passio, we do all of the above, as you will see through this application. Let me show you a quick preview of what an AI-enabled nutrition and fitness app can do. So you will not hear the sound, but I will do the narrative of how it works, and then you can view it again in the on our YouTube channel. But in essence, historically, when people track their nutrition or optimize their nutrition, they basically use static search and don't rely on live real-time recognition, computer vision, analysis, and real-time feedback from AI nutritionists. What we developed is essentially an AI nutritionist in the pocket. So what you can see here, users are pointing their phones at foods, and we recognize those foods in many, many, many different modalities. For example, we can recognize the packaged food, a raw food, a food from the barcode, food from the text written, and we will show a lot more examples. But the important part is, okay, it recognizes the foods for you. It can tell you, are those foods consistent with your goals? Are those foods consistent with your diet? And you can see that this recognition is dynamic. For example, in the previous shot, you saw that it recognized milk, coffee, and then it recognized coffee with milk. It's also important to note that today AI can be used to do way more than just recognition. Here, what we're doing is measuring food weights and food amounts. And with the chat, with the AI chatbot capabilities that we will present, you can create personalized meal plans, personalized recipes, personalized journeys for you to reach your goals. And those goals could be run a marathon, or live with diabetes, or do other things essentially that are impacted by nutrition. And essentially everything that we do, as we know, is impacted by our nutrition and what we are eating. So just going back to the presentation, who is this important for? Who can this help? So AI nutritionist and AI-powered fitness nutrition apps can make a massive difference across several industries. One is healthcare. So imagine that you are a doctor, or you run a clinic, or you've got a healthcare practice company, an application. What you can do today is add an AI nutritionist into your application that will help your patient track nutrition and optimize their nutrition regimen along with the medications that you prescribe. So this is one use case: is give all of your patients a nutritionist into their pocket, put a nutritionist and a nutrition coach in their pocket. This is becoming completely possible today. Another group that can benefit from this, so if you're a developer and you're building for customers, another group of customers and enterprises that can benefit from this technology is clinical research. So if a pharma company is developing a drug, they need to know what patients are eating during clinical trials. And with embedded AI nutritionist, an application, for example, that helps patients through the clinical trials can now collect data about nutrition, and not just about medications and the consequences of the medications. Where it's important, for example, if a drug being developed has different forms of interaction with medications and different foods. Maybe you are taking a drug to cure, to impact your cancer or diabetes or other disease, but at the same time you are consuming dairy or meat or gluten or other foods. If there is drug food interaction and you do not track it, and today most clinical trials don't, this could negatively impact the outcome of the trial. On the other hand, if you do track patients' nutrition during those trials, you could potentially create combined prescription where a medication is prescribed alongside with a certain diet that provides better impact. And as we know, right now there is a massive gap. This is the study that we conducted at Passio. We asked over 150 professionals, healthcare professionals, whether they believe that this data, nutrition data, could make an impact on the work that they are doing. And this is the result. So over 90% said that knowing patients' nutrition data will be extremely or somewhat useful. But only around 15% of doctors and healthcare professionals have access to any visibility into patients' nutrition. This is why embedding tools that we will show you here is so important. And this is why it's such a great opportunity in the healthcare space to add AI nutritionist, AI nutrition tracking tools and capabilities into the system. So, and obviously, AI nutritionist, nutrition coaching, computer vision-based nutrition tracking are important in fitness. If you are a bodybuilder and you are tracking nutrition, track your nutrition with computer vision, with voice, with other features that we provide here. Or if you are trying to lose weight, or if you're training for a marathon or a triathlon race, getting nutrition coaching from AI, and getting an AI augmented nutrition tracking can really help you on this journey. So those are the types of groups and companies that we love to support, and who work with us and get the best results from the adding AI nutritionist into their system. So uh, moving on to the next generation of what we're launching and what we are starting to announce this month. We finally completed let me take a step back. For over 5 years, we've been one of the world's leading companies uh, in the computer vision based food tracking space. So we've been over 4 years ago, we partnered with MyFitnessPal and developed a meal scan feature with them that enables scanning of foods with computer vision. And in the past, we powered them for over 4 years. We also have been powering Ansem, Sydney Health, and other applications with our computer vision for food tracking. But now we're transitioning away from just food tracking, and we are adding a new set of capabilities, which are essentially Nutrition.AI Advisor, which can provide you with personalized meal plans, with coaching, with eventually with accountability, and can answer your questions. Essentially, can serve as your AI personalized AI nutritionist, and we're making it easy for any one of our customers to add those tools into their products. So, in addition to being to offering full nutrition tracker with computer vision, with voice, with chat, we are also now offering Nutrition AI Advisor, which is which is able to talk to patients on your behalf. And as always, as we've been doing this for over 6 years now, we are trying to package this into an extremely easy to use and easy to integrate set of tools. So what's fun about today's presentation, we will show you guys how to build an AI-powered computer vision app, food logging app, in under 5 minutes using our tools. So historically, building an app like MyFitnessPal would take years and years and hundreds of people. With our SDK, you can build many of the capabilities much, much, much faster, and you can get a demo app up and running in just minutes. Could potentially, with a lot of hard work, granted, but you could probably get to the MVP in just a few days. James, during your section of the presentation, you can comment more about like what's realistic here. But this is important to emphasize that today it's available today, as we'll share. But the best-in-class nutrition tracker with ready-to-integrate code, full nutrition advisor, and we're continuing to provide ready-to-use SDKs, modules, and code. So this is now all of the features that are available, from barcode scanning to text logging to voice logging to chat and personalized meal plans. It is now all becoming available, and we are continuing to support all of the core platforms from Flutter to iOS, Android, React Native. So here is an example of one of the features that's been requested. Imagine that you are chatting with your nutrition advisor, and you're asking nutrition advisor to help you log meals. What you can do now is to send a quick picture, either from your carousel, if you collected those pictures before, or in real time. You send a picture, and the AI nutritionist recognizes your picture just in chat. So, which is like a pretty cool experience. You can chat with nutritionist, give them a picture, they log and the nutritionist logs this meal for you from this picture. But not just this, it's not very, very frequently, it's not obvious what's inside. So here we take a picture of a burrito, and instead of just forcing you to log chicken burrito, it gives you alternatives. You can select alternatives, and tell exactly what kind of burrito this is, which is very important. So imagine that you're pointing the your phone, taking a picture, and maybe this is not salsa, maybe this is ketchup, right? So ask it for alternatives, and it will suggest alternatives for you, and then you can log a much more accurate. So here we changed from chicken burrito to pork, but you could also, for example, see alternatives for the sauce and select ketchup instead of salsa. And our SDK is smart enough to ask you questions about what's hidden, what could be hidden inside of your foods. So, for example, here it knows that this is black coffee, but then it also suggests, did you add sugar or stevia into the coffee? So now with this Nutrition AI advisor, it basically can chat with you, answer your questions, talk to you about, suggest recipes, but it can also, right inside of this chat, help you log your foods. And it's available via an API. And we also have examples of code that can help you implement this for mobile applications. And obviously, we've always, for many years now, we've been supporting real-time on-device computer vision. So with Nutrition Advisor, models run in the cloud, but with just Food Tracker that we've got, models run on device and they run faster. They are more accurate. They are very accurate for single foods and ingredients, whereas cloud side recognition is better for complex foods like mixed dishes and multi-food dishes, plates with mixed foods. But for single ingredients, we've got on-device recognition, which is very fast. You can scan single foods, you can scan multiple foods and create recipes. So here you can see we're scanning foods and they're added to the tray. And you can immediately either log all of them or you can create a recipe from them. So here you can see we logged all of those foods into my breakfast. And obviously, recognition of beverages. Here it knows that this is coffee with milk. And as we've seen before, you can select an alternative, let's say coffee with soy milk. Or you can create a recipe and add sugar, and it will be your recipe of coffee with sugar with soy milk. Obviously, barcodes. We're combining multiple databases. With over 5 years, we developed a giant database of foods, combining many open source databases with USDA, with the database that we collected, that our data team has been collecting. And for those cases when foods are not recognized, we can give you the nutrition facts label scanning, and you can, let's say, point your phone at the nutrition facts. They're scanned, and you can create a food for the for cases when barcodes are not available. And in many cases, we can recognize foods from just packages themselves by reading what's on the package and finding this information in the database. So with the system that we provide with the SDK, you can get access to meal plans that are pre-configured by our dietitians and nutritionists. But now with AI nutritionist, you can actually ask it for the meal plan, and it will create a customized meal plan for you. So can you create a personalized weight loss journey for me? If the more it knows about you, the better it can customize the meal plan for you that comes in addition to the meal plans that we've got pre-configured. So our customers, healthcare companies, fitness companies, doctors, and anybody who is creating fitness and healthcare apps, you guys can add either customized meal plans that a nutritionist, AI nutritionist would suggest, or select from the meal plans that we already pre-configured for you. Another interesting feature is pre-configured reports that generate the reports for patients. And this is the new feature that we recently added, as patients and users of this technology now can add their food via voice. So you can see here is I'm saying, I'm providing the overview of my breakfast. I had scrambled egg whites, bacon, whole grain toast, and black coffee. And you can see that we recognized and created the log of all of those foods. So essentially, with AI powered food tracking, what we are now able to do is we are able to log meals with computer vision, text search, chat, voice, and scanning of packaged foods via barcodes. Essentially, the whole gambit. Creating something like this from scratch would take many months and multiple tools. With our SDK, we enable creation of this capability with just a few clicks of code. And this is one of the last features that I want to highlight is volume estimation. This is important for some certain use cases. On iPhones, we developed computer vision capability that allows you to point your phone at the food and get approximate amount of grams. So in many cases, it can substitute for having kitchen scales for users. So now let me hand it over to Ishani to talk a little bit about our Nutrition AI advisor, and then we'll show a demo to you. So Ishani, take it up, maybe share a little bit about what are the use cases, what people can do, and we'll let me know when you want me to scroll. I'll scroll to the next slide for the demo.
Okay. Thank you, Dmitry. So, Dmitry may show you this sneak peek of the how Nutrition AI Advisor works so here we are using the very personalized informations to pass it to large language model and making sure that your informations regarding your personalized choice, like for example, what is your weight, height, and your age according to them. If you have any dietary restrictions, all these things we are taking in considerations to before we are making any meal plan or journey for you. Like you can chat, like for example, like some people have some dietary restrictions, like can't have eggs or nuts or some allergy about the peanuts. So this advisor can provide you according to your your personal preference, the need. So if you want to have detox plan, and make sure that detox plan doesn't include that nuts or anything like that. So that's how we integrated our personalized, very curated advisor to our nutrition to our Passio system. And let me show you some couple of example. Dimitri, can you move to the next slide?
Let's do it.
So let's see if the demo looks, yeah, sounds good. Thank you. So here is just, I'm gonna show you the quick demo. Like I asked about, like I wanna have a low carb lunch. Here I wanna see like what I can eat for my lunchtime, and I don't have a recipe in my mind. And you can see here that I'm extracting the ingredients as well as. So I wanna see which ingredients I can log to my food and how much calorie is each ingredient has it. So according to that, I can choose and manipulate my food and make my recipe out of that. So you can ask, and this is integrated with our SDK. So you can log later that food and give you exact calorie and amount that you have eaten for the lunch. Now I'm specific about my Mediterranean diet. That's another use case. What kind of foods I can eat for my Mediterranean diet? Here give you the list of food that I can eat for my Mediterranean diet. You can see that. And another use case is like as Dimitri showed you, that image, like, I have eaten some food that for my dinner or lunch, and I want to log that food and what is that food about. And it will show you in a few minutes that, yeah. So here is that I had a burrata arugula salad, and it will give you calorie and that, and you can integrate it, like you can add this as a log to your regular meal plan and things that you can have it in your profile that this is what I eat for today. And as I said, you can also make your meal plan for 3 days, 4 days, like for diet. I want to have my detox plan for 3 days. So it gives me my 3 days detox plan. And I can add this detox plan for my profile, and you can extract the ingredients as well as you can find the log year of this food, and many more features are available in this nutrition advisor. And yeah, thank you, Dmitry.
Well, of course. Yeah. Thanks, Ishani, for the demo. And yeah, so the advisor feature is obviously has been highly anticipated. We've been working towards launching it. Right now, it's a static icon, but you can visualize it. Like, for example, here in the voice, we're providing some examples of how you can make it more dynamic, more visual, but essentially it's a whole nutritionist in the box. There was a quick question from Craig about the volume estimation capability. And so the way we do it is we use 3D point clouds that are accessible through from wide angle camera iPhones. We reconstruct 3D point cloud, find plane, and create a bounding box around the food, and we measure the volume inside of that bounding box. And then we combine this with computer vision, with recognition, so it knows what food it is. And we've got a table of densities for each food. So basically, once you know the volume and you know the density, we are able to estimate the grams, and we do some regression to basically make sure that we remove some bias factors, basically, because let's say a mandarin is a solid, but if you've got, let's say, some arugula, which would be powdery, the density there will be much lower. So we do the adjustment for that. And all right, let's move to the next slide. In addition to launching this, we also advanced a set of tools that make it very easy for anyone to test the technology before you make the buying decision to buy the SDK. And extremely well documented, and that documentation is basically one click away from the slides or from Passio.ai. You can get immediately access to the full documentation and see all of the examples, code examples, and anything required to build an app or to integrate our SDK into your app. We also launched a test flight app. So on your iPhone, you can test every aspect from the food logging experience to many engineering features that we offer. They're available on the test flight with one click before you buy anything. And then we've got the test of the advisor, where you can chat with advisor and test the ingredient extraction, photo analysis, etc., just on the web. And obviously, you can always schedule a call with us, a meeting with us, and we'll be delighted to answer your questions and show you everything, walk you through. So what's interesting and what I wanted to share next is historically, if you wanted to develop an application of this magnitude, of this set of capabilities, an application that combines AI assistant, voice logging, computer vision, all of those recommendations, it would be months and months and months of work. And there's just enormous amount of unknowns and decisions that you need to make. We've been testing this with countless customers. We've been honored to be powering dozens of apps, from healthcare to fitness to nutrition. We already know what features work and what features don't work. So we packaged all of this into this SDK. And our goal is to make it extremely easy for you to use, get, and integrate. So to get started, all it takes is a quick sign up. You create an account. With the account, you essentially get to the portal, to the accounts portal. And on the accounts portal, you can basically see all of the information either from the marketing page or from the actual product page. Let me go to manage subscription here, and you can see what's available. So basically, in addition to pricing, you can see a highly detailed breakdown of the costs and API cost, which how many tokens each API takes. So you can build a full understanding of the product and usage and everything. How many users can I accommodate? How much would it cost me? And fully understand what the usage is provided within each plan. But then after you are done with this, what's interesting is you can basically very quickly go ahead and start building. So let me, if you go download the SDK, you can build an app within, you can build a starter within just a few minutes, and James will describe you what happens next, and basically, so when after you land on the SDK page, things are pretty straightforward from here. All right, James, take it away. I'll click the play button, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm picking up from the point where you've landed on our SDK distribution page, and you've got your API key when you've signed up. So yeah, if you press play. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do is create a new, well, actually, the first thing that I do here is copy and paste that URL. Okay, you're going to need that for adding a Swift package later. When you have got that sorted, you want to start a new Xcode project. I just went with the simplest possible setup, just selected an app, and then I can't remember the name that I gave it now, SDK build test or something like that, live SDK test. Okay, and I just accepted the defaults then. Okay. So the next step, as I mentioned, is that now you need to add our SDK as a dependency. So I've got that URL copied and pasted, and I'm going to add the Swift package. It was already there for me because I'd used it recently, but if you just copy and paste that URL in, it will find the Swift package, and you can add it to your app. It's going to check everything out from GitHub, and I'm going to add the package. So that's done. There's one slightly fiddly thing that you need to do with the info.plist, which is needed by Apple. You need to specify a message that you're going to give to the user when you ask to be able to use the camera. Okay, so we have to add a property in info.plist NS camera usage description or something along those lines. I like to use the raw string values there, and I think I've typed in some placeholder text, something like Passio real-time recognition. Okay, there we go. Right, and then we're updating this right now, but what you should be able to do next is if you just go on your view controller.swift and copy and paste in some placeholder code, okay, that we'll provide to you. So that's pasted in now. And at the moment the key is blank, so you will need to paste your key in there. I do that off screen in a second for us. We provide code to configure the SDK. So the first time you run the SDK, it's going to download some files that it needs. It's going to download the models that run for real-time recognition and some other associated metadata. The second time, that's already on, you know, the second kind of boot up should be a bit quicker. Once it's got the files that it needs, it then checks for camera authorization. If it's got camera authorization, then we can start running detection. So we give you just a few snippets of code that you need to kind of skip through this flow. And it's not a fancy demo. So all you're going to see at the end is what we call the Passio ID of the food. Now you can take this Passio ID and you can use our nutrition SDK to look up nutritional information and, you know, a whole gamut of data regarding the food that you're looking at. Okay, so I've taken the Xcode onto the next screen for a security measure. We're going to add the key. Now we're going to add our Passio key and then scroll down, and then I'll be able to run the app and show you what you can expect from our app. Okay, there we go. That's done. Right, so it is the same code. It's just that the key has been added, and now we're going to start running things. Okay, so I'm unlocking my phone and clicking run. So what you should see, I think I opened the debug terminal. It's building and finished, and now it's running. So in the debug terminal, you get some messages, and it will say things like downloading, Passio secure zip files. Any second now, there we go. So that's downloading the models and the metadata, completed downloading all files. So now we're doing some config on the device. That's the message that I put in before, Passio real-time food detection, allow. Okay, now we've got a preview layer running. So I was pointing at my coffee and I thought it wasn't working. So then I decided to Google pizza because that's my favorite food and point a pizza at it. It was working all along. I just needed to scroll down a little bit further, as you'll see in a second when I switch back to the terminal. Okay, so that's the pizza that I picked. And if we point at that pizza, and then I scroll down, there's some BV, which stands for beverage. It's a coffee Passio ID from earlier, and now it's switched to Passio ID for pizza. So yeah, that's a very quick turnaround, 5 minutes. You've got real-time image detection. There's a lot more to the SDK, as Dmitriy has outlined, but you can get it up and running really, really quickly. So yeah.
Right. So with the SDK, you can get the MVP running very quickly. We also have a fully prepackaged demo app that you can get up and running quickly as well. And then for the Gross and Pro packages, what we do, we provide code snippets and we provide prepackaged modules that you can use to basically get the full the full set of capabilities that we shared through this demo. You can get all of the UX, user experience, and elements very, very, very quickly and get them. They're fully customizable, obviously, because it's code, but to get the MVP up and running, it shouldn't take more than a few hours to get basically something working on your phone. To get the MVP, it's probably a few days to maybe a week, and then to finish and fully polished app with your branding, with all of the additional features that are not just nutrition tracker, but your app, that could be maybe a month or something like this, depending on how much you work. I would not. The fastest integration we've done with one of the customers from nothing to basically launching the pilot, testing it with users, was probably like 2 days. So that was one of the experiences that we've got. So it can be done in a hackathon manner in a couple of days as well. So this summarizes all of the core features that we bring. We made it now extremely easy to test, extremely easy to sign up, extremely easy to build, and yeah, we would be super excited to support you guys to partner with as many builders, developers, companies that are making the world healthier as possible. Maybe before we adjourn, if there are questions, additional questions, please ask them in the chat, in the live chat. And also, for those of you who join, I would appreciate if in the live chat you guys can drop in how you found us and where and what got you the most interested through the presentation. So any feedback would be like hugely appreciated, obviously. But regardless, you can find you can sign up at Passio Nutrition-AI, test it out. You can also Passio.ai/contact, connect with us, or scan the barcode. It will get you to the contact information to connect with us and start building using the tools that we just shared. So yeah, we'll maybe keep it live for another minute or so. If you've got any questions, please, or comments, or please do. Otherwise, thank you everyone. Thank you for comments and questions, Kevin, Dipanjan, Craig. Thank you so much for sharing the questions. We also added the link in the chat for you guys to click to get access to. So, Ishani, James, any last comments before we adjourn?
Not really. I mean, I hope it was useful for you guys, and you can see how powerful our SDK is and how quickly you can start building some really cool stuff with it.
Yeah, and please let us know any question, drop in, and you can always reach out to us.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you, Dipanjan. Thanks for joining us and for the comments. All right. Well, team, let's Jeremy, let's start winding this down. And thank you everyone for joining. We'll be back with a lot more demos, with a lot more webinars in the coming weeks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.